Oh, lowly adventurer. Reality is just an opinion, one that I happen to disagree with. I rest my case.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Performance Check. My name is Rob and today I'm going to be talking about tension in your role-playing game. Now, as per usual, I will be using the hit role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons as the example. However, this can apply to any role-playing game you care to play. Now, this is a first for performance check in the sense that I will be talking about my home game today. I have a bunch of really cool players, and they finally embarked on a quest to
end the curse of the Sown Sisters.
Now, for a few sessions, I've been hinting at these
Sown Sisters.
And by doing that, I've taken step one in layering tension in my game. Allow your players to know or to discover in the broadest sense that something is coming. Something dark. Something
powerful.
The players have to travel through the smoking marshes, a plain littered with fires of ever-burning pyres. By describing this sinister landscape on the way to this dungeon, once again, I am layering the tension onto the players. I'm telling them how the smoke from these ever-burning pyres curl into the air, causing strange shapes to be caught up in the wind. Shapes that look like people. One of the players goes to reach for one, but already it's gone. Nothing is there. Soon they arrive at their destination. A strange shrine-like looking building has sunken into the marshes, and the players descend inside. As they arrive in the first opening corridor of the dungeon, I ask for a perception check. They roll, and they quite easily spot a strange round shape floating at the end of the first corridor. It does not take long for the players to identify this large round shape at the end of the corridor.
At the end of the corridor.
Beholder! One of them exclaims. Now, just to make you guys aware that my party at the moment are all level 5. A beholder, on the other hand, is... Challenge rating 13, which is a problem for level 5 characters. When you want to be building tension in your games, do not be afraid to use the player's knowledge against them. Them knowing about the mechanics and the monsters is just an easy way of showing them that they're up against something vastly more powerful than them. Another layer of tension is added to the tension sandwich. So anyway, they see this beholder at the end of the corridor and they're like, oh my god! And they instantly drop into stealth mode. They stealth check and they pin themselves against the side of the walls, just looking at it. It appears that its back's to them. If it has a back. Well, it has a back, but it's round. It's just a round thing. It's a beholder! One of the party decides to be brave and begins sneaking towards the beholder with its back still turned. She gets closer and closer and closer. I describe how there is a breeze that echoes down the corridor. And I describe how the player feels spiderweb brush against her cheek. Now, about 15 feet away, the player realizes this beholder isn't floating. It's being held there by an intricate mesh of webbing hanging from the ceiling, so that its tendrils, its eye tendrils, are being held up as well by this very, very fine web. Another breeze echoes down this corridor, brushing her hair slightly, and the beholder that's been slowly turning left and right, left and right, is caught by this breeze and turns fully around, the beholder turns to reveal its eye socket is completely hollow. Oh, thank God. The players were, suffice to say, relieved. It's dead. A swarm of spiders erupts from the eye of the beholder! Like a wave, these spiders crash against the party, and a desperate battle for survival begins. So what has that achieved? Well, by subverting the expectations, the introduction of a familiar monster, we get the players thinking about what's going to happen, and they predict, it's a beholder! Oh my goodness me, that is a very distracting thing to occur, especially at such a low level. In truth, however, this was merely a veil, disguising the true threat, allowing you to build tension, allowing you to misdirect the players until it's too late for them. Take the image of a powerful creature, yet slyly introduce the presence of another. Spiderwebs mean one thing, kids. Now, what I've been talking about thus far is tension in encounters and in combats. Once the combat actually begins, I like to make it really pacey, really kind of aggressively fast almost, to maintain that energy that has been built up from that tension being pulled into the room. And the reactions I got from my party last night were blissful. They were fantastic. They reacted just the way I wanted. One of them even jumped, which I was particularly happy about. Now, I can't take any credit for that technique. I mean, look at any horror film where tension is slowly and gradually built to a crescendo. And then you were given a brief moment of respite. For example, the players saw that the beholder was deceased. That lures them into a false sense of security, and then you can spring the real trap. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys watching are probably already familiar with this kind of technique. You'll probably say, "Shut up, Rob!
Shut up, Rob!"
And that's fine. But what I'm going to do is talk about little things that I do to augment that already existing technique of building tension. Number one, I take my time. When describing them slowly approaching this beholder hanging in this web, I take pauses. I describe to them every step, every sound they hear. And by pausing like this, you draw them in. And number two, I lower my voice, as this is a very easy trick to make your players lean forward to catch every word before you deliver that reveal. But what about other kinds of tension? There's lots of different types of tension, especially in role-playing games. For example, you can have tension between nations, tension between warring factions, tensions between your very party. The same rules still apply. These particular ideas will take a lot longer than a single encounter, but use that to your benefit. Use that to your advantage. Let tension span throughout session after session after session. And then finally, whenever what's going to happen happens, it will seem all the more satisfying to your players and you as a storyteller and as a GM for it. Allow that tension the time to fester in the players' hearts and minds. Let them see these nations on the brink of war. Let them see the shady man who hired them become steadily angrier at their actions and their defiance of his orders. Keep telling them, keep drumming it into them. Let them know that their actions will have consequences and tensions will come to breaking point. So, thank you ever so much for watching another edition of Performance Check. I've been Rob, and if you've liked the video that you've watched, please hit the like button. If you'd like to see more, why not hit the subscribe button? Or not, you know, we're all friends here, or are we? And if there's anything that you'd like me to discuss in the future, please let me know. I'm very, very, very open to suggestions. I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate! And why not tell me? Tell me how you handle tension in your games. How do you use it to your benefit? How do you use it to advance the game that you're playing? I'd love to hear. Thanks once again for watching, and as always, I hope that all of your performances are up to standard.